With the recent turtle reveals of Injustice 2 and Rise of the TMNT, now is the perfect time to talk about what got me into the series. Hello people, I'm the Anime Hero, and most people know me as an anime reviewer, but I like other things. Currently I'm watching 1987 and 2003, and I will jump to 2012 and 2018 when I have the chance. Admittedly, there's a lot of material I have yet to see, such as wonderful hits like The Next Mutation and Coming Out of Their Shells. That was sarcasm in case you watch anime and didn't know about those things, whatever. I only read the first issue, but that just means I can enjoy the many incarnations of TMNT at my leisure. But what started everything for me? It was the 3 movies. Yes, all 3 of them. I like them all. I was born in 1991, so it must have been around 94 when I got into them, because I had all 3 VHS tapes. I would constantly pop them in my VCR, along with other kid favorites like Power Rangers, Batman, and RoboCop, because that's totally kid-friendly! Oh no! I have no idea how this happened because I have all 3. I was probably 5 years old watching these R-rated movies. How could my parents show this to me? As someone who's about to be 27 years old, Ninja Turtles never really left me. Sure, I got seriously into anime in the mid-2000s during high school, but I grew up in the 90s enjoying anything that involved costumes or animation. Some people would say, you only like TMNT because of the nostalgia. Of course it is, how can anyone forget their past? Like it or not, some fictional things tend to grow up with you. Depending when you were born, certain franchises end up being part of your life, or at least existed during your growing period. Examples range from He-Man, who's gonna have a live-action movie in 2019, She-Ra, who's gonna have a Netflix series in 2018, Power Rangers, as long as Japan exists, that's never going away, Pokemon, you'll never collect them all, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Star Wars, frickin' Dragon Ball, and so many other things. 2018 is filled to the brim of old school anime having modern versions. I almost think there's too much anime for 2018, especially in April. Getting back to the Turtles, with the recent turtle power emerging in this current internet age, I felt interested to revisit the Ninja Turtles. As I said earlier, TMNT didn't want to leave me alone, especially in the 2000s with the 2003 series and the 2007 movie. Most of my Saturday mornings were spent with TMNT on the Fox Box and the Batman on Kids WB. I grew up with Fox Kids' Batman the Animated Series, but the Batman was just a starting point of telling me he too wasn't gonna leave me alone. So Ninja Turtles and Batman are probably the 2 franchises that grew up with me in the 90s and stay with me to the 2010s and possibly even longer. It's my fate, and it becomes more obvious to me since they also had a few crossovers. Around 2015-16, I was really getting into other Batman material, which eventually led to the 80s cartoon He-Man and She-Ra that led me to the 1987 Ninja Turtles. As a kid, I barely saw the 87 series, and by that point, the cartoon was running its course. It wasn't until 2018 that I started to seriously explore the 1987 animated series. But between 2008 and 2018, the Turtles weren't with me. For more than 10 years, I wasn't interested in Turtles because Fast Forward happened, Back to the Sewers happened, and eventually Nick happened, but certain things occurred within that time frame. Middle school was nearly over and I was getting into Yu-Gi-Oh! And Yu Yu Hakusho. I was already a well-versed Dragon Ball fan by that point, but in high school, oh boy, that was my Naruto, Bleach, Death Note, and One Piece phase. One Piece is the one that stayed with me to this day. But on my first year of college, I started to seriously get into anime. It was all thanks to Dragon Ball Kai for once again getting me into anime, and then Super killed my Dragon Ball interest. But Fighters brought it back. It's as if someone's making wishes on the Dragon Balls in order to win back my Dragon Ball admiration. During college, I wasn't into anything outside of anime. After a few years in said college, I started to work with my dad and I was super into anime that I made a YouTube channel. My interest in cartoons came back in 2017 because, for whatever reason, I wasn't into most of the new anime of the time. I had a blast with 2016's anime premieres, but 2017 didn't have that same magic for me. Throughout the entirety of 2017, I kept getting exciting news of shows I wanted to see, manga that I wanted to buy, but it was all coming out next year, 2018, which is now. So, to pass the time, I started exploring other YouTubers, eventually bumping across Fayla's review of Turtles Forever, and then I remembered, that was the last time I saw the Turtles. It was back in 2009 that TMNT celebrated their 25th anniversary with the movie Turtles Forever. And the reason it made a big deal, it was a crossover of the 2003 series with the 1987 version. So I watched Veda's review and quickly remembered so many things that I disliked. The obvious example was the miscast of Dan Green as 87 Leonardo, because that voice didn't fit at all.
You know, old frying pan face. Hello? We're talking about Shredder. I'd be careful with that if I were you.
But the biggest crime of Turtles Forever was being very disrespectful to the 87 version. They were insulting them, they were making fun of them. It was straight up bullying. I distinctly remember watching Forever on TV and getting upset on the cowardly hug, and they were all written as random baby versions of Michelangelo. It was not a good time. That movie probably killed my interest. Then again, Turtles wouldn't be doing anything big till 2012. But within Fela's playlist, there was a video featuring another crossover with the 2012 Turtles, even incorporating the 2D art style. But it gets better. There's a total of 3 crossover appearances within the 2012 series, which were all good, but now I'm wondering, are we just gonna forget about the 2003 Turtles? Even during the live reveal of Rise of the TMNT, no one brought up questions, comments, trivia, or anything related to 2003. They only talked about 1987 and 2012. Maybe Rise can give them a crossover? After watching the Trans-Dimensional Turtles episode, I just got very curious on how were the 87 Turtles supposed to be? Who are they? What has it been probably represented? I didn't see much of them, so this felt like a sign to me. I did some purchases and Christmas shopping on Amazon, and once I started 87, the turtle power level went over 9,000. Within the months of December 2017 and January 2018, I became a kid again. I don't even remember who bought this, but I found all 4 movies in the house and I started watching those too. I would now see these films in a mature mindset and realize there's some good stuff here and some disappointing moments too, but there's also some underappreciated events for the characters like Mikey getting respect for his heroism in the 3rd movie, Raphael controlling his rage in the 3rd movie, Donatello questioning his purpose in life in Secret of the Ooze, or how the 1st movie is all about family and learning to one day accept the loss of your parent. That's actually very deep. The 2007 movie has some interesting ideas of a dysfunctional family while also questioning superheroics, but there's a lot of stuff that prevent it from being a solid story. I liked it, but nowhere near as the other 3. Admittedly, I haven't seen the 2 recent movies, but I'll watch them someday, along with everything else. Everything! The 87 Turtles makes me feel very happy. It's a really fun and funny show with a surprising amount of meta humor, and all of the character banter is freaking hilarious, and I just enjoy how over the top it can be. The 2003 series has this ongoing storyline based mostly on the Mirage comics, which had some really intense moments. The episode You Need to See is same as it never was. I got very sad in that story, and I can only wonder how the 2012 and 2018 will be because I haven't started those, but something tells me I'm really gonna enjoy it. Hopefully it won't take me long to come up with more turtle uploads because I want to make TMNT a permanent thing on this channel. And one day, Batman and He-Man and a bunch of anime I should have talked about years ago should be on the channel too. Currently, I'm in my Devilman phase and have a bunch of overdue videos I need to work on, but I really want to start talking about cartoons mixed in with the occasional anime video. So I'm gonna end this upload by saying I don't know who's my favorite turtle. It's between Leonardo and Raphael, that's the most I could say. So who is your favorite Ninja Turtle, and what's your favorite version? Is it the comics, the movies, the 2012 series? I don't know, type a comment so I can read it. I'm the Anime Hero, and I review... I'm an anime fan who sometimes talks about cartoons.